Andy. Thanks for being with us.
Morning.
So you're currently on oversight. There's talk that you might be moved temporarily to the Intelligence Committee so that you can question Adam Schiff potentially or other
I don't know about
witnesses.
Schiff. We'll see. That's a call for Leader McCarthy.
Why would they do that? Because you're a bulldog?
Well, I mean, that's a Kevin, Leader McCarthy's call. If Kevin and Ranking Member Nunes want that to happen, then that helps our team. I just want to help our team. I want to help the country see the truth here, that President Trump didn't do anything wrong, and what the Democrats are doing is partisan, it's unfair, and frankly, it's ridiculous, particularly the way they've went about with these secret meetings in the bunker in the basement of the Capitol.
And yesterday, the Democrats released partial transcripts, and then it's going to be drip, drip, drip through this week to try to establish a narrative that the president's a bad guy. You know, this all got started, the Ukrainian thing, with this whistleblower who told a story that was leaked that turned out not to be true. And now I know your side says we should hear from the whistleblower just for transparency.
I mean, one of the ways you determine someone's credibility, determine if there's what their motivation is, what kind of biases they may have, is they need to be under oath, stand up with their right under oath, answering your questions. And frankly, the position we have is the same position Adam Schiff had 6 weeks ago. Remember when this first happened, Adam Schiff said we need to hear from the whistleblower. And then 6 weeks later says, no, we don't. One thing happened in that 6-week time frame. Namely, we learned Adam Schiff's staff had met with the whistleblower. Once that fact came out, it suddenly changed their story. But the idea that we're going to impeach a president less than 12 months before the next election based on an anonymous whistleblower with no firsthand knowledge who has a bias against the president, who worked with Joe Biden, is ridiculous. And the fact that we don't get to question them under oath and determine what kind of biases they may have.
Well, I think the American people he's apparently willing to answer written questions.
Yeah, that's not going to fly. That is just not going to fly. He needs to come in. I mean, because again, just what I said. You want to be able to look this individual in the eye, ask them questions, and see how they respond in the moment, answering those important questions that I think not just members of Congress have. More importantly, the 63 million Americans and, frankly, all 300 million Americans who the Democrats are trying to overturn the election and who we voted for.
The transcripts we saw yesterday that you lived, Mike McKinley, former top aide to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, and the former ambassador to the Ukraine, both said they were concerned, to paraphrase, about an operation led by Rudy Giuliani on political purposes to affect Ukrainian-American relations. They were concerned. So you were there. I mean, what's your take on this?
They're concerned, but remember, the President of the United States is the guy who's in charge, and he can have whomever he wants trying to move policy forward that's in the best interest of the country.
It's been working like that for a very long time.
Yeah, there's oftentimes people outside of the diplomatic corps actually will do diplomatic missions for the president and for the commander-in-chief. That happens all the time. They didn't particularly like that, but it's the president's call. And we sort of have this kind of fundamental concern from some of the folks in the diplomatic area that somehow the unelected people tell the elected person what to do. That's not how it works in our great country. The President of the United States is the one we elected, we the people elected. He's the one who determines policy, and he's the one who can decide who's going to be ambassadors and who's going to do the diplomatic missions that he thinks need to be done.
How does all of this play out? Because realistically, you might want to question Adam Schiff, you might want to question the whistleblower, but it's up to the Democrats because Adam Schiff's in charge. So realistically, that's not going to happen. So how does this all play out?
Well, they passed this resolution last week. I said it tries to put a ribbon on a sham process, but when you do that, it's still a sham process. Adam Schiff is still in control. He gets to decide the witnesses. In fact, when they notice the first hearing, which could happen as early as next week, we have to provide a witness list. But Adam Schiff decides if they get to come or not. So he's in charge. I don't think he will testify. He should, but I don't think he will, obviously. And he still determines who the witnesses are, how this all operates.
So let me ask something. In the big picture, you could sit there and you could say the process is a problem and you have something to go with. You could say that these people are embedded in the state and they don't like the Trump and you have something to go with there. Or you could say, why was the president looking in the Ukraine? Was there a reason? And what was Hunter Biden doing? Couldn't find out for sure. So have you thought about getting on the offense and proving there was a reason for the president to be concerned instead of just looking at this and saying this is not impeachable?
Well, there was certainly a reason. Ukraine has a long history of all kinds of corruption, one of the most corrupt nations on
Senator
the planet.
Schumer told me 2 weeks ago that they had nothing to do with the 2016 election.
Their ambassador to the United States, Valerie Challey, writes an op-ed on August 4th, 2016, criticizing the president. Their interior minister, Mr. Avakov, does all kinds of social media posts calling the president all kinds of terrible things. Mr. Avakov is still in the government of the new president, President Zelensky. So there was real concern clear back in 2016 when the president's running for office, justified concern that the president had with how Ukraine was operating. And the president, remember, he's not a big fan of foreign aid. Right. He's given millions of dollars to this country. He'd like to know that Zelensky's the real deal. Turns out I think he is. But the president was justified in being concerned about that.
1 year from now is going to be the election. And what are Democrats going to be able to run on?
Well, the president's going to have a strong record to run on, that's for sure. Cutting taxes, the lowest unemployment in 50 years.
But what are the Democrats going to be able to run on?
Who knows? That's why I think they're trying to go after the president. As Mr. Green said, they want to try to impeach him because they think he is going to get reelected. I do too.
Real quick, if you want to help the people that are watching now in Middle America and Southern America, pass the USMCA.
Heck yeah. I think every Republican would vote
go
for
out
it.
there.
Most of the Democrats would. She just won't bring it up.
Put it for a vote, but just you demand it.
Heck yeah.
You're Jim Jordan.
Well, I don't know about that, Brian. You just demanded it on TV.
Good.
Thank you so much for being with us.